I can promote Joe.
Oh,
Sure.
Joe, I'm gonna promote you to panelist, if that's okay by you.
we can't.
Promote him anyways. Yeah, but so since Joe is remote, Steve, you have to do all roll call votes.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, kick off the meeting. Anyone want to read this? All right, I'll do it. This is to formally advise that as required by MGL Chapter 38, Sections 18 and 25, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 21, enact well extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law June 16, 2021, as extended by Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, the Yarmouth Community and Economic Development Committee will hold a public meeting on Tuesday, June 11th,
No,
June 8th, June 9th, right, at 5 p.m. at the town, excuse me, at the town hall. This
The top one goes.
1146. Is welcome to attend either in person or by the alternative public access provided on the notice of meeting available on the town of Yarmouth website. So we'll need a roll call, right, to start off. We all here?
If you, yeah, you can see if Joe's here, just press.
Joe?
You're not taking
Hello,
votes.
can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us okay, Joe?
Yes, I hear you perfect. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I don't think you need a vote.
We don't know. Okay, so first item up is the Grayfield, excuse me. Grayfield Redevelopment Fund Program. All right,
So you want me
yeah, we're gonna
to?
kick off.
So Steve and I talked earlier today, and so in the packet, in the materials that I emailed out, is the memo that was presented at the last meeting by Mary Wagon, our Affordable Housing CDBG program administrator. And the gist of the memo was the Affordable Housing Trust is looking to fund mixed-use projects in commercial areas where there would be a combination of housing and commercial use. The idea being targeting underutilized properties. So the property that's developed, but is perhaps less fully utilized than it could be. It's a little bit of a subjective determination. And Mary had come asking for assistance from the Community and Economic Development Committee in soliciting interest. That we've gone through kind of all the public noticing associated with RFPs and gotten little to no interest in the program. So Steve and I were talking, we were also talking about the facade improvement program. And I had gone back through some of the materials and I found the work that Mary and Maria Marasco had put together. And we came up with the concept that maybe the two things, the facade improvement and the Grayfield project could be kind of combined, since you're going to be taking a look at Route 28 and seeing kind of what could you do where. Thinking that you might have CEDC tourism funds for the facade improvement program or affordable housing trust funds for the development of housing as a component in a project. So I'm going to share my screen.
I'm confused about what you just said.
Okay.
Is it all right if I interject?
Yes, sir.
So my recollection is that they were talking about pre-development stuff that this money would be used for through the affordable housing,
That's right.
but they were talking about tear down.
It's kind of twofold. They're talking about new housing, the motel bylaw. So if you have a motel property, you cannot create housing in it by kind of moving the internal walls and gussing up the front. That was originally part of the bylaw, but it's no longer part of the bylaw. So to create housing with a motel, it's a brand new construction. But their program, they are looking at top of the shop housing. In
Okay.
a kind of general gist.
I understand that. it just seems like a strange combination because the facade program seems like the end of the work and this from Mary seems like the beginning of the work. Just a strange,
I think
just a
that-
combination I'm asking
I
about.
think that Steve and my conversation was more around kind of the inventory nature.
Okay.
So
The
the
outreach
work
part.
that had been done, let me show you what it looked like. So this was some of it was just an assessor's map with, some notes on it. It was a great start. This is over towards Bass River. That's the long plaza where the D'Angelo's and the 7-Eleven is. They had also included in this area, South Yarmouth, the Four Corners,
Corners,
some of
yeah.
those properties, and they had inventoried things. In West Yarmouth, let me just, oh, what is that? Come on. It's working in my office.
I think it makes a lot of sense in terms of combining the outreach efforts to let them know about both at the same time. That makes sense.
I think, yeah, and I think, and I'm sorry this isn't loading, I don't know why, it's not loading. The work that had been done, there was a long list of street addresses in West Yarmouth.
Yeah.
And then some, it was interesting because I took a couple minutes to run through it with Kathy. There were Google Street View photos
Yeah.
and sometimes a Google aerial. And the Google pictures, some of them are pretty old. And it was interesting because a number of the properties that were included in the list have already been improved. It was great. It was the Mrs. Mitchell's. Now we have the tattoo parlor by Old King's High Coffee that looks super. What was another one? There was a couple and they'd already been fixed. So that just really kind of emphasized, and I know some of this work was done a while ago, is I think the inventory itself maybe wants to be refreshed. And so what I did is, and just taking a drive down Route 28, it'll work. I took a drive through Route 28 just on Google Earth.
Of course, we start with salt.
Sorry, well, yeah, we finished there, but there are other properties maybe that should be considered that weren't on this list. Things like we go around, it doesn't really matter. The China Inn wasn't on here. That's a property that doesn't look very good. It hasn't been used. There's the restaurant that's opposite Captain Parker's. I don't think that was on the list, where it was the old China Inn. Maybe that should be on there. Way West Yarmouth. What was it? Can't help me out, Peter. The
Canco?
Gold Star, Canco, and the vacant house lot next door to it. That's a very nice parcel. You
Same.
put them together.
Same family.
Yeah, same thing. It's
Cannons,
right?
Cannon.
I don't know if you guys know where that is. I
Yeah.
can show you.
Across from the library.
Across from
No, it's
Yarmouth House.
Resort.
Yarmouth House. Way Yarmouth House. So anyways, I took the information, Google Earth, we can do Google Earth, but I took the information that was on those two pieces of work, the West Yarmouth inventory that had been done previously and the South Yarmouth one that had been previously. And this is the list that was on here. I don't know, Steve and I were talking, does it make sense for the group to look at these, go take a drive on Route 28, or better yet, take a walk or ride your bike? If you,
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
If you go now, you can sit in traffic and look at it all.
You could
won't
walk
even-
really
yeah,
slow.
Yeah, you won't even be going fast.
But you could see what's at these properties and decide, is this a good place? Could they use a facelift or a little jazzing up?
Is that Pizzazz place sold yet? Pete?
Pizzazz,
Is it sold yet?
which one?
The one right next to the Stop and Shop. plaza next
It's
to.
for lease.
That's for lease.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that had a drive-through.
I didn't know it had a drive-through.
It says it on the sign, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be, I think Fleet,
They might want to check.
it
Interesting.
was Fleet, I think last bank.
There's a
was Fleet.
lot down that way that.
Yeah.
When was that a bank?
Or was it?
That's
inflatable?
before my time.
Long time ago.
Eighties.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot.
Wow.
Use a facelift.
Yeah.
It's been gone for a while.
No flowers.
So the idea is not necessarily to marry up the two programs, but we may not be able to do that. But the idea is to look at some parcels and properties that could fit either one of these
Yeah,
facade improvement. Okay,
just because it's the same kind of feeder exercise.
yeah, right.
And we could maybe come up with you know, we can come up with a different map. I can work with Bruce downstairs
Yeah.
to put together a nice little map. And we could work with, you know, most of this information that I put, I just did this, you know, right before the meeting.
Yep.
Map and lot will help for the map, owner, current use, size, acres. Is it in a floodplain? So Kathy's one comment on one of the restaurants we were talking about is it's in the floodplain. So that might be extra challenging to do something.
Yeah,
But this also too might help you to think about which types of properties do you want to focus on for either program. Resource areas are, you know, how much of the property is wet? Just are there other resources on it? That type of thing. But we could, I don't know how you want to approach it, Steve, if you want to see if people want to take a leg on Route 28 or have everybody take a walk up and down Route 28 and do it together. You could do it together too, if you wanted.
Could I make a suggestion
Thinking out
about the
loud.
columns?
Yeah,
I think owner needs to be broken out a little more comprehensively. I know this, you said you just did this, but if we're gonna do that,
oh yeah, we'll
follow-up,
get address
you know what I
and
mean?
we'll get address. That's all we have. We don't have emails. So,
They're all gonna be maybe zoning and then overlay district too. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're considering top of the shop, or
Yep.
additional apartment, I mean, we're gonna assume that that would be allowed in
Yeah.
every one of these lots, right?
Yeah. I think that's a great one.
Yeah.
is
You
it
know,
allowed?
we,
Is
Would it be allowed? I mean, if it's some lots may not allow it either because of they're already some level of density. I mean,
Okay,
are we gonna
Maybe.
chase projects that don't require variances or special permits, or we're just going after ones that are allowed by right?
well, I think the easiest way would do allow by right, you
Yeah.
know? So, otherwise you're looking at spot zoning, right?
Or a lot of wasted time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think you should do it by right.
Yeah.
What do you mean top of shop? Housing on top of the commercial?
just, yeah,
Okay.
yes, that would be
So
the
mixed use,
ideal.
Mixed use, yeah,
Mixed use.
yeah, yeah. Well, what's the pleasure? You all want to take a walk or some of us want to take a walk or?
I'll be part of it because I
Yeah.
know
You-
it pretty
you know
well.
all that, yeah.
Yeah, you can be our tour guide.
Yeah,
You can give the history.
I think we focus on 28.
Yeah.
Certain parts of 28, you probably know better than all of us, but I think allowed by right, use by right would be the best way to go.
Yeah.
That might zero it down a little bit more too.
and maybe
Um,
Kathy can help us a lot with
yeah.
that too, because some of those, it's gonna be obvious which ones are not.
That fits.
Source.
Cheap power.
I think it's worth thinking about because I mentioned that to Steve Joe. Do we want to look at White's Path? Do you want to look at
White's
Higgins
Path.
Kroll? Do you want to look at Ansel Hallett?
I- Yeah, I'm not opposed. I just,
You know.
my focus has always been on the main spine, the 28
Mhm.
corridors, but I'm open. I mean, if you want to look at White's Path too, we always neglect, I think, my fault, 6A.
Well, how does the
6A.
outreach manifest itself? I think if we collect all the addresses of all the owners, then what?
We gotta come,
That's my question.
yeah, we gotta come back here, I think, and talk a little bit more about it. What you zero it in, what can be done by right? And that's gonna whittle the list down a little bit.
No, but I mean, how do we let them know that they're even on a list? Is my question.
I don't
Do we
think so.
send letters to them?
Oh, yeah, when we get to that point, yeah, I would say yes.
It doesn't really matter if we don't need to really limit ourselves geographically.
No,
We
you-
send
I think you-
letters.
No,
Yeah, personally, I'd throw anything and everything on the list.
and I keep
Um,
neglecting 6A, so I know some of you guys want to talk about 6A too, but I don't know, it's over there that might.
6A wants us talking about them.
Yeah,
Most of White's Path is B3, right?
Right.
So I don't, I mean, except for the beginning part, I don't even know if apartments are allowed in B3, so
I don't know, but I think, so I just added.
Is that what you just said?
mostly yeah, it's mostly that B3s are industrial.
It's like
Yeah.
more industrial,
From
but I think you could say, so I just added a
It's Leo
couple fields.
Capunis's house. Isn't that on White's Path?
which
On
one's
the corner after the lamp place on the,
well, you had the crane in there for a million years.
On the north side there.
yeah,
I had, maybe when you're looking at these parcels, think about, would it be appropriate for a gray field program, like with the top of the shop? Or would it be appropriate for a facade improvement program? And if it's good for and then put this one at the end. Yeah. Can't click and look at the big screen. And then ideas, just because things like, what would make the place look nice, in your opinion? Would it be awnings? Would it be planters? Would it be paint? Would it be a new roof? Would it be lighting?
Mm.
That kind of thing.
How far down on 28, like past where it where you would go to Main Street? Is it still Yarmouth before it becomes Barnstable?
In Barnstable, it's.
right at the fork.
Shield,
Is it right at the
Fork.
fork? Okay,
Shields MRI is the best.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Right after that is
Yeah.
Hyannis. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's wicked.
yeah. Shield still looks good.
Yep, yep,
Um,
okay. What's the pleasure? Anybody wanna take a hike?
Oh, yeah.
I can send this out,
Yeah,
print them out, or whatever you want.
yeah, I think it'd be good to have that with us, just to.
If-
If we had it in a sheet that we could all have, can we do that?
I would just fill them out separate because I think with this many people
Yeah.
in one sheet, it will be confusing. And this way, everybody can just do their own work and then come to the meeting and
It's a little scavenger
go through the list.
Yeah. What we do with the facade was we all took, there's 3 or 4 of us, Mary from the chamber helped out too.
Yep,
Because that program was a state program and you had to have, there was a vacancy factor there of 7%, 11%, I forget what
I
it was.
forget.
So we had to go out and look at
Yeah,
properties that we thought were vacant. So that one down on the left side, 28, as you're heading toward the bridge, that retail, strip mall, there was like 4 or 5, 6 vacancies in there, so
Mhm.
that's why that came up.
Hmm.
So, but we don't have that problem, with this one, so we can choose what we
but
want.
no, I mean, I think this would be helpful, and then I can even, if people do that, then we can kind of run it through internally too, because a
Yeah.
lot of times properties are coming through, going, oh, I'm thinking about doing
Mhm.
this, thinking
Yeah,
about doing
right,
that, and we
right.
might be able to find out, is there already some interest that you can build on?
Yeah, the goal really would be if you could leverage these programs together with anything else, with
Right.
zoning and something else, you could build do a real nice project, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we need a motion? Or do we already vote on gray fields?
No, you didn't vote, but you're not spending any money or
Yeah.
anything.
Who's going
If you
on?
want to vote on proceeding, you can.
No, but I thought that they were asking us to fund it.
Mm-mm.
No, not at
No,
all.
it's
They were
already-
asking us to promote it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic. I love that.
But there's $40,000 that comes with this program, yeah?
They have
It's their money. though,
funding,
it's
I
not-
don't know what the total budget is, but it might be $200,000
Yeah.
that they have set aside, thinking 40 for property.
And that's my point, Joe.
A year.
Oh.
That's my point, is that 40 could be leveraged with some of our money too,
Right.
and some other money, so that's.
Yeah,
that's all.
okay.
I think it's a potential future relationship.
Okay, so you wanna
Left on that.
send out some dates, or how do you wanna do this?
Yeah, well, how would you like to do it? Do you want to all walk together or everybody go separate on your convenience? Because maybe on the weekend is a good time. or-
Yeah.
yeah, it's all
Yeah,
together.
we got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Get a buddy. Get a buddy, you go.
So we go to, no,
You can all, this is the other thing too.
Well, you
that's
know, it's
If
not-
you all go together, it's just a schedule thing. I mean, if you can do it, you can do it. That's great. But
you have to post it, I mean, like,
you don't have to post it if you're not deliberating.
just
Really?
walking around and,
But it's better if you do.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Better if you do
Like a
post it.
site visit, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
better procedurally if you do.
Right, so what do you
Whatever
want?
your pleasure.
You wanna pick a date now, or you wanna go back and think about it? Probably on a weekend's better, yeah.
Probably.
How many addresses are we talking about, Karen?
Well, Route 28's like what, 5 miles?
27 addresses.
I mean, could we also like each take a mile and then report back
Yeah,
That's probably better.
and take
Yeah.
pictures and
Yeah.
stuff along the way?
Why don't we
Yeah.
do that?
I
Yeah.
think that's a good idea.
Good idea.
So
One,
there's
two,
1,
three,
2, 3,
five,
4,
six.
5. Joe, are you in on the road show?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll divvy up Route 28 into 6 pieces.
Perfect.
And
Yeah, and then anything else that anybody finds or wants to bring back, they can bring that back on their own.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect.
All right,
I'm down this way, so give me bridge towards whatever you want to do.
will do.
I'll take one.
Any other requests?
No, I'll take whatever.
I request that Pete look up White's Path. See if it's B3 or not.
All right, good idea. Good discussion.
I live down there too.
What is it? It's B3, most of it. You get past Granite City.
All right,
Nothing without.
next up is special event program discussion. I know Courtney and Joe Gibbs have been working hard on this, so I'll turn it over.
Yeah,
Ms. Courtney?
since Joe's remote, I'll lead the charge on this. So Joe and I have met a couple times over the past several months. We've taken a deep look at this. We've done some research into what other tourism areas of the country do, and how they promote their special event programs. So we've kind of picked some of the best ones out there and made them our own. But we think that it's worth a deeper workshop discussion than just trying to pick it apart in like a 1 hour, 2 hour, like 30-minute meeting. So the changes are highlighted in yellow. They mostly include the definitions that we discussed back in like March of the types of events and for-profit, nonprofit. And then the biggest is on the last page is the evaluation criteria and percentages to kind of use as a base point for evaluating the proposals. So we are proposing that we introduce this today, like I just did. And then we do a workshop dedicated to this, like the last week of July before the August meeting.
With us, with the members, CEDC members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way we can just hash it out, go through any questions,
Okay,
look at like the budget sheet that's attached, the marketing plan, all the other attachments, and get a finalized, ready to go for September, October. Joe, did you?
Application as well.
uh,
Application as well.
Yeah, application too, yeah. Because this right now is like the solicitation, basically that we looked at, so yeah, so finalize the application and all the crazy attachments. Did I miss anything, Joe?
No, that sounds good. It was just a lot of kind of figuring out percentages or how much like top amounts to award and dates. We wanted to relook at some of the dates if St. Patrick's they were kind of our earliest event. So do we need to still go as early or that type of stuff is I think what we really want to just sit down and hammer out.
so regarding the St. Patrick's, Karen, you're gonna check with the town administrator
I will.
to see if the town is funding that.
Yeah, I was gonna check with Bob to see what the status of that is.
That off our plate is the question.
Well, that's the thing, if it's off our plate, then, it's a whole different ballgame.
Whenever you've been told that it's not.
Well, it was a town meeting, it was a budget item, $50,000 that was approved, so,
Right.
yeah. I'm assuming that it's,
Sounds like it's off our plate.
Oh, yeah.
so,
Confirm.
when do you want to have that meeting with all of us? If you want us to get back to you with.
If there's a time at the end of the month that works for everybody and we can get on the books, that would be awesome. Our next scheduled meeting is August 13th, so sometime before then.
You want to check our calendars now, or?
Yeah, if you guys,
I'm going
July.
the 21st to the 25th.
okay, so maybe that,
The 30th.
the 30th, if that's a doable thing.
Yeah, I have one other one that I was just informed about, but I can, cut out, and that was a drive-in site.
Oh,
That's at 4 o'clock on that, the 30th. That's okay. I mean, keep it, if that works for everybody else, I'll just
but we could do 5.
cut out early, yeah.
Easy
Actually,
for me to say. Your time.
I just.
July 30th you're talking about?
July 30th.
Or any day that week even is fine. Like I could even do the 31st probably, or the 1st.
I can do the 31st. If it's late in the afternoon.
Wednesday.
Wednesdays are good days for me.
31st works for me.
Schedule.
Yeah.
You good?
I can do the 31st.
31's a good. What time you want?
You go 4?
Yeah, we could do 4,
Can you do
4 or 5. 5's easier for me.
5?
I have to be in Boston until at least like 3,
Okay.
but I can always dip out. if I need to.
5 o'clock, Joe?
Yep, that sounds good to me.
You gonna send out an invite? Oh, perfect.
Wow, guys,
I'm just
thanks.
booking the room now.
Oh, thank you. You guys worked hard on it. Thank you.
Get it done.
All right. So we'll reconvene, but feel free to like take a look.
BA
I'll
meeting
send
by
out
approval,
more
Board of
materials
Appeals.
about this, like before we,
So-
that way people come prepared.
All no's except for
Discussions.
lodging. Yeah. Guest house.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for residential.
Thank you, Joe.
That thanks, you guys.
Residential.
Hey,
I don't
I
think
had a
There's no
question for
sort.
Karen.
Easy to see the.
We're not likely to have the septic to
Yep,
allow
listening.
apartments.
I was just wondering if you had a chance to figure out the details, like if that
I-
8-hour minimum was actually a thing or
Yep.
just rumor.
I have a detail rate from the fire department that I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I did reach out to both chiefs. I haven't yet heard back from the police, so I'll follow up with a reminder and I'll just send that out when I get it, okay?
Thanks. Yeah, I was just more, if it's
Yep,
going from that
no
4
problem.
hours to that 8-hour, it could just be that could be a big nut for a lot of people to deal with for
Yeah.
events. Thank you.
Yeah, it's-
Okay, yeah, no problem.
It's big for the organizers. And it's big for us. I mean, that takes a good chunk of resources out of our
Yeah.
pocket that we could put to these events, so.
We'll find out what it
Yeah.
is first and then go from there.
All right. Next up is the committee membership reorganization schedule.
I don't know. You can go do your Route 28 lots. So this was just, the membership that's, I think I sent this out in the packet. It's in the printed packets, and Joe, I'll keep a paper packet for you. This is just a list of the members when your, terms expire. So it was Joe, and Peter, who are up at the end of the month, and just what I like to do is be timely and send a note to the, town administrator's office regarding, who would like to be reappointed. And then, once we know who would like to be reappointed, then we can ask for information or go forward on, there's one seat that's vacant. I think that was Maria's seat. So we haven't filled that yet. So, just be good to know if we need one seat, one seat. So, and Joe Manning, I think you're in. You said that last time, and then we need Peter and Joe to get back to me.
Oh, I'll be in. That's fine.
Okay, Peter's in.
Yeah, throw me back in to finish some projects.
All right,
Your enthusiasm.
Right.
Overwhelming there, Joe. Twist your arm.
thank you, Joe.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
like hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll draft a note to the town administrator, so the appointments chair is aware.
That's good. Thank you all. And you said something about August to talk about, potentially talk about
If you want,
the organization.
it'd be good kind of standard.
When Peter Quinn Smith was here and then Ken Smith was here. We get it at least once a year, and I think it was in August, that we just went through and the vote on chair, vice chair,
I think that's it.
secretary, I think there was one other one, yeah. So, yeah, you wanna do that again? So, I mean, I don't need to be the chair every year, so someone else wants to step into the chair.
You just look right at me.
I'd be gracefully accepting that. So we can think about it and talk about it the next meeting.
So do you want me to put that on for the 13th, Steve?
Yeah, unless someone wants,
And then that.
unless somebody wants a resounding call to step to the chair and do it right now, okay.
Let's talk in August.
So let's do, I'll do.
I think we all know what's
8:13.
gonna happen, but let's talk in August.
Joe, we're gonna nominate you for everything.
Oh, poor Joe.
He's gonna run away.
Throw your name in.
And then the 7:31 meeting is just a workshop.
Yeah, for those.
We'll just have that one item.
13th of what?
August.
Yeah, I can't believe
Yeah,
we're talking about
Can you
that.
believe it?
I know, I can't.
Yeah.
All right, good with that?
Yeah.
Good, good. Thanks, Joe. Committee member items. Any committee member items?
So you and I are saying for the select board.
I'm gonna run home for.
You're gonna have time now.
6:30, yeah,
I know, I'm sorry, I suggested the 4 o'clock start.
I know.
No, this was a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Peter likes
Perfect
the
idea.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, any committee member items at all? Want to talk about Bass River?
Just for internet speeds, folks, right?
Test your internet speeds, yeah, fixcapeinternet.com,
3 times before July 20th.
3 times before July 20th. There's a self-reporting issue with the data that's being provided to the state, so the more, if you have slow internet, anyone at this table or anyone watching or ever reviewing these meetings online, take the tests, because
How do you do that?
you go to the portal, which is fixcapeinternet.com
Okay,
from your house. We're not talking about wireless speeds, we're talking about internet speeds, so it's not your phone, it's your computers,
okay,
and it walks you through it, yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Because they say that if you followed what was happening a year or so ago, a lot of money went out to Western Mass
Yeah,
for their connectivity. And the reason being is because they're shown to be underserved or unserved in terms of their internet connectivity. But we all know that, especially this time of year, there's the stresses on our infrastructure in terms of internet is significant. Especially businesses have difficulty with theirs, constantly having their credit card processor dropping.
right,
All the stuff that
Right.
we all know we make all our money in the next, in 30 days from now until August, whatever. when
Yeah.
Kids start going back to school, so.
yeah,
It's definitely worthwhile.
Is this a state sponsored thing or?
The state is, it's the Mass Broadband Institute, which is quasi-public.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge period. And it's based on FCC data that's Comcast provides to the feds.
So this is their website?
This is not their website. This
Whose
is
website is
this
this?
is coalition of Cape Cod Technology Council, Open Cape, and loosely affiliated with the commission. The commission doesn't have their name on it because they have to stay neutral, but they've municipalities, nonprofits, anchor institutions can all submit challenge data. Individuals can't, so it has to be done by certain types of organizations, or they won't be accepted. So if you have trouble with your internet, or your street does, get your neighbors to do it, that kind of a thing. So
Good.
hopefully we'll get some of the $150 million to build out some more infrastructure down to our beaches.
Bless you.
Bless you.
I just have, now that you,
Gotcha.
now that I've
Mine's
Taking a
doing-
seal. A couple other things, conversations haven't started with DPW yet about Packet Landing, but I'm gonna I meant to talk to Jeff yesterday, but he wasn't at the RAC meeting. I'm guessing he's probably on vacation. And then the other thing I wanted to bring to this committee's attention is that the 100% drawings for the Bass River Bridge, I think are out. They haven't gone out to bid, they're about to go out to bid, but there's some conduits that would connect 28 from the Dennis side to the Yarmouth side that there isn't any allocation for anyone other than Verizon.
Really?
Yeah, and that's sort of confounding the future proofing of our economy down here if we don't.
So they're not gonna put conduit in there that it can accommodate something later on? It's just gonna be enough for one vendor?
That's what it says on the drawing, but I can't imagine that that's,
I can't even.
that's what it says on the drawing, so
Mm.
I just wanted to bring it up because it was brought up to me. I've made Mary Wilbon and Leslie, is it Leslie, the Dennis Chamber? Leslie,
Nope,
hold on.
right there.
I've made both of those chambers.
Lois.
Lois, thank you.
Where?
Made Lois Andre aware of it as well, because I think those businesses along 28 deserve that. Otherwise, you gotta go from the base of both bridges and then around the river, like via High Bank to get back.
Yeah. Yeah,
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
doesn't make sense, yeah.
What would be another obvious user or tenant or, need?
Well, there's fiber, there's open Cape fiber that goes to the base of both ends of the bridge. As an example. Comcast. Just the single sole provider allocated all the conduit.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Especially when Verizon's into fixed wireless and then what do they need
Yeah.
conduit for if they're gonna be pushing wireless down here? They're not bringing Fios. I mean, they say they are, but they never do. It's always it's a misdirection. Anyway, I just want to bring that up. That's all I got.
Pete?
No, I got nothing.
You don't have anything either, so it's good. Item 6, staff updates.
I don't have too much. We've been busy kind of finishing up the fiscal year over the years. We did find out, I had reached out to the folks at the state regarding the wayfinding and graciously given another extension.
Oh.
So we have another year to work on that, just.
Karen, to follow up on that, not to put you on the spot, but maybe you can check with Bill Scott if he's in charge of that.
I will be in charge of that.
You are, good. So that's good news.
Mhm.
When do you think you might have an RFP? Because
It shouldn't take long, it's just, I have some other priorities, so probably end of the summer.
okay, do you need any help?
Okay? I will let you know.
Okay,
I will let you know. It shouldn't be heavy. It's just getting to it and
Right.
focusing. on it.
doing it, yeah.
So,
Well, let us.
Should be a nice kickoff to the new seal, too.
oh, I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great. I don't want to, no, I felt strongly. I didn't want to let it lapse.
Hmm.
So I think it's a great project,
Okay, so you just keep us posted
Yeah.
on it?
for sure.
There's no news on the economic study Route 28, their RFP for that.
No, and so you missed the beginning. So Bill has been out for a while.
Okay.
For medical reason and so no. And then I copied Steve on it. The event analysis has been submitted to the chamber. So that'll be interesting when we
Get a copy of
get
that.
a glimpse on that.
Yeah.
So I know they're reviewing it. And hopefully we'll see it soon after it's finalized.
And before we make some decisions too, yeah, good.
Mhm.
Oh, I just have one last thing. I was at the RAC yesterday and the members of the RAC were bringing up a lot of anecdotal stories from business owners about the construction communication about wastewater. It wasn't anyone, we've already talked about it, it was other people. So I interjected into that conversation that was being potentially included in the next round of marketing contract for the chamber, so that the chamber could more robustly collaborate with town staff to make sure that those businesses are made aware. They were talking a lot about signage, because I think that through traffic is not allowed, but if you're going to one of those businesses along that route, I think that you can get into those businesses, so.
Mhm.
Anyway, just, I'm sure that that's an evolving thing. This is bound to be fraught with some
Oh, for sure.
fits and starts.
Well, hopefully
at the
by the time it
beginning.
kicks back up, we've learned some lessons on
Right.
better. And businesses too, I mean,
Both sides, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
definitely gotta get better.
Old Main Street's gonna lose a lot of trees down here. I don't know if anybody's picked up
Why-
on that.
Yeah.
Why?
Uh,
They're making the road wider?
They need to use almost the entire roadway between digging their trench, getting their equipment. And by the time they pruned them down, they would have probably not survived.
Yeah.
You know, so
Hearing scheduled?
we saw it a couple weeks ago, a month ago. Yeah, so they got approval. And Bobby Hours in my building, so I know he's
Yeah.
he's chomping at the bit. It's ready to go.
Yeah,
That's gonna-
trees are
It's
tough.
gonna make a lot of friends.
Oh, it's, yeah, it's gonna,
There's a lot of,
It'll
I
never
mean,
look
it's
like that again.
significant replanting though.
I was gonna say,
Associated with it.
yeah,
must be
we'll
doing
we'll get a
some-
nice 3.5 inch caliber tree. So,
Okay.
so,
No,
Mm.
it'll take forever to grow.
right. On the south side of the street, they won't put it back up anywhere near the lines. No, on the riverside. So they won't be along the side of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Sidewalks.
Mm. Mm.
So- So take your walk, take it all in
I'm sure,
soon.
I'm sure we'll hear about it at the select board, but from the pictures I saw, that Mermaid Day looked like a success, even though it was kind of rainy,
Mhm.
kind of gross. I know it was nice.
Mary said it was a big
was nice that
success.
day, yeah.
Lots and lots of people. I heard there was no parking, which
Nice.
is a good thing.
Yeah.
So there-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of people there.
Well, when is this cod stock? I forget.
Well,
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
missed that.
Yeah.
So, they came to us at the last meeting and they, right now just have a lot of personal business things going on. They're not fully ready to launch it this year. So we basically said like, if you come back in the fall, we'll defer your funding to next year, so.
Maybe they could just do a huge renovation.
Huge renovation. Sam just had a baby, like a bunch of stuff was going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody ran into the Smith Family Property building, so, yeah, so they've got a lot going on, and he talked, he's got a great plan, and he basically was like. People who want to commit to us want to see that we are really committed and able to do this, and they just weren't quite as lined up as they were hoping.
Just a minute.
I'd much rather them say this and do it right the first
Oh,
time
100%.
than try and push through.
yeah, I
yeah.
think they recognize that too. They don't wanna jump out too fast and do it half-assed. They wanna make a good show of it too, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, you know if they're gonna connect the concession stand at Bass River Beach to the sewer line? That,
That I don't know. Ask Jeff.
I think the bathrooms are gonna get connected, right? So.
I would imagine.
I
the
would
same
assume
building.
so. It's right there. So,
I'm just thinking, because they'll probably capture some more parking as a result. Yeah, but asphalt over the septic.
mhm.
All right, then, nothing else? Motion to adjourn? We need a roll call?
You need a roll.
Second? Being done?
yeah.
Oh, man, aye.
Peter Slovak, aye.
Steve O'Neill, aye.
Courtney,
Joe Gibb?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks for attending, Joe.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there in person.
We are adjourned. Thank
Glad
you.
you're here in any way, shape or form, Joe.
You gonna be here 6:30?
yeah, I think. I think-
You guys need backup? Tonight?
I think we're good, because it's us and Mary, right?
Joe, I'm gonna cut the meeting off.
Cause
Okay,
Mary's
bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, Joe.
PowerPoint.